What's happening, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up, Felicia? How you doing?
What's up? Doing good.
Oh, oh man, sports in the
Ooh,
Bay. It's hot. Ants are all over the place. I don't know if it's you, but man, we got ants crawling everywhere.
no,
Um,
please don't curse me just yet.
but having
Shh.
said all that, we got to talk about Klay Thompson, what went on. So, you ready to get into the Klay talk?
Ready?
Sports in the Bay. Here we go. Another episode, Felicia. Whew, here we are again. How are you?
I'm good. I don't see myself. My
I see.
computer.
Uh-oh, I see you.
Okay, there we go.
There she is.
I'm like, what
There she
is
is.
this?
There she is. What a week,
Here
huh?
I is.
What a week.
What a week. Heat. This heat. How you doing with this heat?
Oh man, we Melody and I, my wife Melody, we went up to Davis on
Ooh,
Wednesday, I think it was. Wednesday or Thursday.
mm,
Maybe it was what's my days are running together. But anyway, driving back, it was 114 coming back down 80. So better today, but yeah, this heat is
that
crazy. So
is a
stay
crime.
stay hydrated, everybody. Stay
Please,
hydrated.
and wear your sunscreen and your hats.
Absolutely, and stay. And then when they say stay out, stay inside. Stay inside if you can, because the heat
Mhm.
is nothing to play with. Nothing to play with. But
And you know what? And I've been inside, but I think my AC is on the blink a little bit, so I'm gonna have to have maintenance come out and take care of it. It's not blowing like it should blow.
hmm.
So if I put this on during the show, my little walk around fan.
Nah, it's all good. I get it. I get it.
uh,
I get it. I get it.
Fire.
So it's been so hot around here, and it's been so hot in Bay Area NBA news. Hey, what's up? Somebody, hey, Bostic says, hey, Fee. And thank you for watching on YouTube. By the way, we are on YouTube now, Sports in the Bay on YouTube. You can catch us live there in
You
addition to
better
Facebook
call
Live.
me. I've been
Uh-oh.
trying to find you.
Oh, you busted now.
Uh, oh, if
All
this
right.
is who I think it is, okay.
We'll take that comment off, and you can handle that. We'll bust somebody out. You know how we Leos. You know how we are. We don't forget. So
Mm-mm.
not at
Memories like
all.
elephants when it comes to somebody that well not crosses well crosses us too, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't
yeah.
forget. We don't forget. But yeah, heating up in the NBA, big news. Of course, where were you when you heard the news that Klay Thompson was no longer a member of the Golden State
Let
Warriors?
me think. Where was I? I think I was here and I just happened to flip through the television and I don't know. It was weird. It was like a little bit of denial because I heard so many reports that they were going to sign him. And then I was like, you know, good for him. Then I just said, good for him because you could see him on the bench last year. He was not happy.
Not at all.
And he told the guys, he told Steph and Draymond, don't fight for me. You know, just don't say anything to upper management. Just let me, if they don't speak up for me, it's cool. You don't have to do it. So
Agreed. Yep.
and I think he'll flourish in his new home. Sometimes we just need a change of scenery.
Yeah, I was trying to think the when was the last time in the Bay Area a Hall of Fame player was traded like this? And the only one that
Joe
comes close.
Montana.
Exactly. You read my mind. You read my
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't happen very often like this in the
Mm-mm.
Bay. Guys tend to either get cut or leave or free agency. You don't see a lot of hardcore Bay Area Hall of Fame type of players leaving.
Mhm.
And so it was a shock. I got the alert on my phone, and I was kind of sat there, and then I went and looked, and they just finalized the trade like a couple of days ago with everything, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But
Mm.
it was, man, and the thing about sports, as you know, Felicia, is that we often think back to where we were in our lives at certain points when certain things were happening. And I remember when that first
Yeah.
championship happened, and
Mm,
just where I was in my career and all that kind of stuff. And
yes.
it's like, wow, it's that chapter is over. It
Yeah.
is over. It is over.
And it just feels like it whizzed by so fast when you're in the midst of it all.
Right.
But yeah, and then the one that they got 2 years ago, that was unexpected.
Definitely.
They were under the radar then. So, but I don't put anything past Steph Curry, and yeah, he can't carry the team on his back, but we'll see what pieces
Yeah.
now that they have surrounded around him. We'll see how they gel and how that works. But
Yeah. You want to
yeah,
let's take a look at this at what happened with the trade. Let's just take a quick peek and see who got what. So I'm going
yeah.
to make this full screen too, courtesy of at Mavs PR. Thank you. Um, so if you look at it, not bad for the Warriors. They got two quality players. So Dallas, if you read from left to right, Dallas got Klay Thompson and a 2025 second round pick. And this, by the way, I think was the first 6-team trade in NBA history or something like that. It was
Oh
historic.
wow,
Yeah, I think
wow.
it was one of the first 6-team trades in history.
Mhm.
The Timberwolves get a second round pick swap in 2031 and a 2025 second round pick and cash. They selling brothers. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, don't get me started.
Moving on. Wow. No, maybe they sold a pick. I don't know, but okay, we'll move on. The Warriors got Kyle Anderson, solid
Mhm,
pro. Buddy Hield,
mhm,
solid pro.
mhm.
Denver they just got cash. The Hornets get Josh Green, Reggie Jackson from Denver, if I recall. I think he was with Denver last year. A 2029 second round pick and a 2030 pick. And then the 76ers get a 2031 second round pick. So on
Ooh,
paper,
2031.
Dallas and the Warriors actually got value. If you look at it, you get a Hall of Famer in Klay Thompson and a pick. And while the Warriors didn't get Klay Thompson, didn't get a Hall of Famers, they got some serviceable pros with experience.
Well said. Well said. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they both went to their conference finals,
right, right.
Minnesota and the 76ers. So, no, I'm thinking the 76ers. I'm thinking about DeAnthony Melton, who they had a press conference for today. Oh, but Buddy Hield was with the Sixers too,
Yeah, he was
right?
with the Sixers, and he had a pretty good. The first two games of the playoffs, he didn't really play, but he had a really good. I think it was game 3 or game 4. He really showed up. But Buddy Hill can shoot. There was a stat, whether it's and I only saw it in passing, but apparently over the last few years, Buddy Hill has actually percentage wise or volume wise been a better 3-point shooter than Steph Curry. Believe it or not.
They were talking about that. They were
Believe it or
talking
not.
about that. Yes, yeah, they were talking about that.
So he
Uh,
definitely will spread the floor. Of course, he's not the defensive player Klay Thompson was, but shooting wise, it's not a big drop off. Not a
mm-hmm,
big drop off.
mm-mm,
You
mm-mm.
know, he's not Game 6 Klay. We know that.
Ooh,
Um, and that's where the test will
40-point
be.
Clay. Right.
Right, right. The test is
Yeah.
going to be in the playoffs. Provided they make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We know, Anderson has been playoff tested, but has Buddy Hield been
Absolutely.
playoff tested? We'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
Right. So what type of impact would you say that Clay left on the Bay Area?
Massive,
Yeah.
massive. He was top 5 most beloved players in Bay Area history, I would say.
Top 5.
Because even with Montana, if you remember when Montana left, everybody wasn't a Montana fan. There were a lot of people like wanting Steve Young to play, if you
I
recall.
don't remember outcry. I don't
Yeah,
recall an outcry. No.
yeah. So if you look at some of the most beloved players in the Bay, he's right up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's his story. I think his dog, everything that you saw about Klay was You didn't see him, getting in trouble, model
Mm-mm,
citizen, civic
mm-mm,
minded,
mm-mm.
quirky, all the stuff that
Quirky.
yeah, all the stuff that people loved about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was
Aloof.
aloof, uh, but a killer on the floor, just a cold killer. And I think people respected that and appreciated that.
So I got so many stories of people just running into him walking through Piedmont or walking through Montclair area or by the lake. He just he was just I don't know how that's gonna fare in Dallas because they don't see as many entertainers on the streets as we do in California. But
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, just he balanced everything out with the fire of Draymond and the professionalism of Steph, the flash of Steph, and then he was just kind of like the glue.
Yeah.
He was the mix. He helped keep the mixture together. And I know they're gonna. Someone said that Steph said that he would leave. I don't know if he said that. I haven't seen it. That he said something about that in USA Basketball, like if Klay leaves, you know, I might leave.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I didn't Google it. I just Steph doesn't talk like that. So
No, no,
yeah,
not normally,
I'll
not
believe that.
normally, not
Hmm.
normally. But
Right.
it just makes you nostalgic. It just
Hmm.
makes you really appreciate what they did over those. Because what were they, 4-2 in the finals? So that's six finals appearances.
Mm.
Um, you
Hmm. That's
know,
right.
could have
Four and
been,
two.
so you figure in a 10-year run, they went to the finals six times. Um, that's definitely a dynasty,
Hmm.
my opinion. Um, but what are you hearing from some of your contacts? Are you hearing people? Are they surprised? Was it inevitable? What are your folks saying?
Half and half. Some are shocked, and some were expecting it down at the last minute. But it, I mean, I had said here on the show that he was going, that Marcus Thompson had said he was going to look like he was going to sign, and I totally respect Marcus's opinion, but it goes to show you whatever happened, and I don't even think it's even solely about the money with Klay. Because you remember Clay's dad was
Right,
depositing his check, was
right,
keeping control of his money for like the first 3 years of his career. So and he was born into money. So it's not like he's like chasing after paper, although it's nice to get it, but that's he wanted to be respected. And I
right.
think the respect, I have to say it. I just think that if Bob Myers was in office, he wouldn't be gone.
Hmm.
If Bob Myers was still the general manager, I believe Bob, with his compassion and his passion, that he would have found a way to persuade Klay to stay and make him feel wanted.
Hmm.
And he didn't feel wanted.
Did it surprise you that he was offered? Well, allegedly. Now we never know unless you're sitting in the room. Who's offering what? But remember, earlier reports in the season was that Clay was offered 2 years at 48. Was the way it was reported.
Hmm.
And I think his contract now is 3 years at 50. I think that just makes your point that it wasn't about the money because they actually the Warriors, at least if you believe, because and I know teams spin things, right? Stuff gets
Hmm.
out that favors the
Hmm.
team, and Clay rejected it, which kind of people were kind of feeling some kind of way about that. But um, yeah, 3 years at 50, and I don't know if it's an option year to third year, but and he's going to a team that he might be that missing piece.
Hmm.
He might be. If you look at Dallas, the way they played,
I think he will be.
yeah, the
And
experience.
let's go back to excuse me. Let's go
Oh
back
yeah,
to the contract thing. He's watching Jordan Poole get paid, Draymond get paid, Andrew Wiggins get paid. and this is how you thank him, especially Andrew Wiggins. So I'm sitting here thinking, I got to look at him for another year.
Yeah.
I got to
Yeah.
watch him. Which Andrew is this going to be tonight? Is this going to be depressed Andrew, scared Andrew?
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
not a fan of his game at all.
There there does need to be some consistency on it. I mean, as you know, the worst player you can have is someone who's not there, right? Um, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's to your point. After these are grown men, but after everything that Draymond has done over the years,
Thank you.
he got his bread. But you know, now there's some who say, well, Klay was gone for 2 years and they paid him while he was gone. Well, they had already. I mean, what were they going to do? They couldn't have just cut him, and then
Right.
nothing like that, CBA, and plus they paid him for what he was. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you're right. I think when guys have made 150, $200 million, it's just a respect thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the numbers, mean more as a respect thing than probably actual worth to him because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I could see that. And um, it- to me, I think the Warriors are in a very interesting situation because you gamble when you let go someone who brings that much to the table from a fan perspective,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
People aren't going to have the same feelings for Buddy Hill. No disrespect to Mr. Hill, but they're just not going to feel that same way about him. That because we
Mm-mm.
all grew up basketball
We
while
didn't
we were,
draft him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And longtime Warrior fans like us, when we were in the wilderness for 40 years or whatever it was, that it's just like when the Niners won that first. It's just that sense of belonging and having your team win a championship when it's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
And they were young and they were
Yeah.
hungry, and it was the three of them,
Ooh, and it was a first of everything. Everything was
yeah,
new. I mean,
right,
even from getting the media credential and finding out that I got approved for the finals, just that feeling and just seeing people when oh my God, there's Shannon Sharp. Oh my God, there's whatever, whatever. You're just seeing people that you normally don't see
right, right.
coming into Oakland. And it was just, and Oakland so deserved it, you know. And those guys love Oakland,
Yeah,
meaning Steph, Draymond, and Clay. They let it be known, and they still do a lot of community work in Oakland. So you know, it as with everything, seasons change. So now, we may have to kind of take a back seat and just watch the other young teams, come on up. The
yeah,
Memphis, look at Memphis. Ja was out, and now he's gonna be back healthy, hopefully for him.
yeah.
The Grizzlies and
The West is
yeah,
stacked.
West is
But I want
something
to
else.
I want to take the financial conversation in another direction because, um, just like Barry Bonds for the Giants,
Mhm.
what those guys did for the Warriors franchise valuation, meaning, and I don't know how much the Lakers, I don't know how much they bought the Warriors for. I didn't pull it up, but from where that team was when they drafted Clay and Draymond and those guys to where they are now, that team is probably 6 billion. I mean, when you
No,
throw
clearly
in
a B.
the
Yeah.
stadium, they literally built a stadium because of an arena because of what the Warriors did, which
Hmm.
which totally changed the revenue stream for that organization. Now they're not sharing with Alameda County. Now they get all the
Hmm.
parking. Now they get all the concessions. Um, you know,
Parking
Janet
at
Jackson plays
$30.
right. She plays Chase. She writes a check to the owners of the building who just happen to own the Golden State Warriors. So it's
Crazy.
the revenue streams that people forget. So we all talk in barbershop stuff. Oh, how can they be holding out for 4 million? Because the team's value is now 6 billion. So I've contributed to that. So yeah, I want more. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, that's business.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, and I, thanks to you, we went to, I think it was before they won their first title. I don't know if you remember, we went to the media day. Um, and this was Klay was still clean shaven and everything, and he, no facial hair. It was when they were still practicing downtown Oakland,
Yeah,
and
Rakuten.
I got a
Mhm.
chance to ask him about his dad, and his eyes just lit up, and he was just. I have that sound somewhere.
Oh,
Um,
good, 'cause, I don't
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. I have it. I have it, and but it just he was just you could just tell, and this was like I said, this was before Game
That
Six
that
Clay,
was Clay. That was Clay.
and he was just a down to earth guy, just coming
He
in,
really
wanting the ball.
was.
Yeah.
If you asked him
Um,
about his family in the Bahamas, or asked him a question that he liked, he always would say, "Good question," or "Thank you for asking that," or eh, very polite,
yeah.
very very polite.
I pulled up some stats I wanted to just see over the years what he meant
Mm,
to the Warriors in terms of their career leaders and career stats. So I'll just read some of them off. So in terms of games played for the Warriors career wise, Steph's
mhm.
first at 956. Draymond is second at 813. Then Chris Mullen at 807, and then Klay. So he's fourth
Wow.
all time Golden State in games played, and that's missing 2 years.
Wow.
So he would be right there with Steph. He would be close to Steph because about another 160 or so. So yeah, he would be right there with Steph had he not missed those 2 years. He and Steph would be neck and neck in games played. Minutes played, he's fourth, right behind Steph. Nate Thurman, who's second. Steph
Mhm.
has 32,700. Nate Thurman 30,000. Chris Mullen 28,225, and Klay is fourth all time with the Warriors, 25,844 minutes. He is fifth in field goals made. Goes Steph Curry. Wilt Chamberlain is second. People forget Wilt Chamberlain was a Warrior in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Yep.
Field goal attempts, he's fifth all time. 2-point, he's 10th. And 3-point field goals, he is second to Curry, 2,481 to Curry's 3,747. So he's he made his mark with the Golden State Warriors career wise. And
Oh, he will get a statue out front for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he will get a statue.
so I haven't, the schedule's not out yet. I imagine that Dallas Mavericks
Ooh.
ticket is going to be one of the hottest tickets
Ooh.
in the Bay.
Ooh.
And they'll be more because they're in the West, so they'll play them a couple times
Yep.
here.
They'll be playing
Uh,
4 times.
yeah, so that's going to
Mhm.
be bananas,
And that's gonna
bananas.
be emotional. Remember when we were talking about, the end of last season, how he stood on the court in that playing game with Sacramento, and it was like he was saying goodbye, and I was kinda, like, in denial, like, "No, no." He knew then. The way he was standing there and he was just taking it all in, like, "It's the last time I wore this Warrior uniform."
Hmm.
And it was. And it
Um,
was.
how much pressure do you think he's going to be under, and do you think he's going to press because he's gonna want to come out and kill everybody, but you still got because Luka's ball dominant. Luka's gonna bounce. Luka's gonna have the ball for 18 seconds of the possession, right?
Sure.
Everything runs through Luka. Then you got Kyrie. So now instead of being number two option, maybe are you three now? Is he coming off the
Mhm.
bench?
Are
Hmm.
you saying, okay, so you think that Clay's gonna put is having the pressure on himself, or that everyone watching him with the Mavericks is gonna have this pressure on him?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both.
Uh, mm, I think I think his head is clear now. That's just how I feel. I just feel like his head is clear and the sky's the limit for him now. He probably feels like he did when he was a rookie. Everything is he's starting to he's not starting from scratch, but he is in a new city. He's starting from scratch. So he gets to play with someone like Kyrie and Luca. And they're looking at him. They're probably bowing down to him and grateful that he's a part of their team. So they're probably willing to do whatever to get some of that, Golden State mojo that he's bringing. Everybody wants some of it, so they just want to touch him,
Yeah.
and hopefully that galvanizes him to, reinvent himself and show that he's still got a lot in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be exciting. And I think to your point, it's going to be exciting for him. Change is not always bad. Change can be amazing.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
no state income tax in
Hmm.
Texas, which is like, oh,
Must
okay.
be.
Must be nice.
Must.
Must be nice.
All that money and not being taxed. No state tax. Mm, mm,
Um, we do have some. Let me see if I can pull up that video, courtesy of if Facebook will allow us. I'm going to try to play this. And this was Steph Curry reacting to what it's going to be like, or he never thought Klay would leave. So let me see if Facebook will and YouTube will allow us to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and click it, and then let's see if I can. And let's go.
This. You told me that it didn't even feel close to the last dance for the two of you, Klay and Draymond. When did that change?
I mean, we talked about it a lot just in the journey that we've been on. Obviously, me since 09, Klay's a 2011 draft, Draymond, and then when Coach came in 2014, and what's happened since, we would have loved to maintain, the core and finish out together. But we obviously understand the league and things change, and having Klay head on to Dallas, it's tough. It's something that I never imagined would be a reality. But you want him to be happy. You want him to be able to enjoy the game of basketball. It does suck losing Klay. There's no two ways around it. So you have to be able to celebrate what we accomplished.
When the season starts next year, it's going to be really weird. And I know we're all going to have that date circled when he comes back to Chase. And that will be one of the strangest, most emotional nights of all of our careers, for sure.
So,
sorry about that.
Oh, it's all right. So
Territory.
yeah, you can see the reality is kind of on Steph, and this is a different team. This is a different team.
Yeah. At least in the first year at Chase, we still had him. Even though he was injured, it's like, wait till Klay comes back. But now it's like, oh, Klay coming back on the other, he's the enemy now. So you can never read Steph's face. Steph is the ultimate professional in keeping a poker face. But I know he doesn't. I know he's just like, How can you get used to that as a player? They just trade you off like cattle.
Yeah, I don't know if you can with especially when you have a team that's been so successful and has been so consistent. And probably, I'll say it, I think that's the last dynasty we'll ever see where the core were all drafted. I don't think you're going to see that anymore.
I agree.
I just don't think.
Not in our lifetime. I mean,
yeah.
Probably not. Not with the way free agency is and how these contracts are getting out of control.
Yeah.
Can't see that.
So,
but now you're wondering, should we have got rid of Jordan Poole?
Well, when it happened,
I don't have any regrets on that. But
I don't know if you remember, but I was actually saying I think you never give up young talent. And when you have somebody who's talented like that, and in Washington, he's not the same. He's obviously he had a horrible year, but in that system, you just, I don't know, maybe I'm a big fan of Bill Walsh, but you always hold, if you have young talent that's been there, has experience, I don't think you give up on it. And there's the argument. I know if I don't know if you watch Gil's Arena, which is a great podcast, Gilbert Arenas. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas. His podcast is spectacular.
You think it's great?
I do. It's
can't stand that Chance guy with the crown on his head.
Yeah, Bashar McCann. I mean, that's an act. I mean, he's.
Oh, I want to jump through the TV.
Yeah, but I think that gives them some interest. But it wasn't. And I'm blanking on the other player that's on there, but he had a very good point.
You're talking about Keon Martin?
No, there's another player as well, and I can see his face, and I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, he played he was a guard, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But he said that the Warriors dynasty ended the day of the punch.
He sure did say that. I was watching that.
He said it ended the day of the punch, and the way the team, and I don't know, I wasn't there, but it feels like the team protected Draymond at the expense of Poole, and who knows what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
right. It could have been terrible, but at that moment, knowing what we know now about the suspensions and all this and that, do you give up a young 20-point scorer? Now that next year he was playing out of control. He was totally out of control. But I think I don't think you give up young talent like that. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, the veterans must have said something too. I'm sure they consulted with Steph and Klay, and I know he was rubbing everybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
He's feeling himself.
Yep. Especially when he got his money, you would think. I'm sure.
Yeah, it was like a Monte. Well, Monte wasn't that bad, but Monte did, get that contract, and then got in that accident with his bike when you're not supposed to be doing motorsports.
Right.
And new levels bring devils, and so it just brings out a part of you that you didn't know was in there. So I think it just made Jordan Poole just
became expendable. He became odd man out, and they shipped him off. They literally shipped him off to hell. Basketball hell. They was like, "Oh, you want to you up here winning these games? Yeah, you want to know what it's like? We're gonna ship you to the worst team in basketball."
That's what used to be the Warriors. To end your career, send you to Golden State.
Right. But they may bounce back. I mean, you never know. But anyway, that's water under the bridge now.
Yeah.
What's your take on Steve Kerr and his interest?
He got a contract too.
Right, that's true.
A fat contract too.
So they took care of everybody.
Klay was like, "What about me?" Yeah, get your money, Klay. Come on, Klay.
Yeah, because even though the argument is they paid him for not, when he was hurt or whatever, but he still came back and got you a championship after that. So that should have, why not take care of him then? I don't know if he was eligible or not, but they could have came and extended him at that point, probably. So yes, take care of family, and like I think there's some truth to that. Everybody else got paid but me, and then you only offer me everybody, and they got 4 years, and you only offer me 2. Okay. Okay. All right. Peace. So now he actually did them a solid because he did the sign and trade, which he did not have to do, maybe to make all the cap stuff work. But realistically, he could have walked and they wouldn't have got anything because he was
he could have stuck it to him. It to him.
Exactly. But he did him a solid and said, no, we'll do the sign and trade, and all these different pieces moved here and there. But
so your question was about Steve?
Yeah, Steve Kerr. What's your take on Kerr? And there's always some rumblings about his coaching ability last year or so. People are saying, So now, okay, what's your take on his? I guess, what do you think he's going
I
to do
think
with
he
this
just,
team?
I just think he needs to get the right team behind him. Since Mike Brown left, we've kind of seen a little shakiness. Mike Brown, Mike Brown, who's now the head coach of the Sacramento Kings, who got DeMar DeRozan. I was hoping we would get DeMar DeRozan,
Yeah, me too.
but they just got better, even better. So I just think that I don't know who's on his assistant coach. I know one of his assistant coaches just got the head job in Cleveland. So he
Yeah,
lost, I've thought, why hasn't he ever thought about having Luke come back, Luke Walton? But I don't know if they feel like once they've had a head coaching job, it's beneath them to get back in the assistant coach's realm. I don't know. I don't know.
a
I know
great
some
point.
coaches don't mind.
Yeah, I think they just signed Jerry Stackhouse, right? And Terry Stotts. I think they just signed them as assistant coaches.
Who did?
I believe the Warriors signed Jerry Stackhouse as an assistant. I know there was some rumors about that. Let's go to
Wow,
the
and
Google.
Stotts is back to the Warriors, huh? He was there when I was an intern.
Let me see. Let me
He
just
was
make
there
sure.
when I was an intern.
Yeah. He's assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors.
Mm.
Because he was at Vanderbilt. He was a head coach at Vanderbilt for 5 years until 2020, till this year. And yeah, they hired Terry Stotts and Jerry Stackhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, as assistants.
Because Stackhouse was wasn't he coaching? Was he coaching a college team?
Yeah, he was at Vanderbilt.
Okay, but where was Stouts?
Now Stotts, I forget who he was a head coach for, but he was at Milwaukee.
He used to coach Portland.
Right. And then he was an assistant at Milwaukee. And then when they hired the brother that they fired, if I recall, the rumors were that they didn't get along and they got rid of Terry Stotts from Milwaukee, because he was assistant at Milwaukee. And I believe I got the story right. And so
wow. So Stouts got a ring.
I don't know if he was there. Probably. I don't know if he was there then, maybe. But I know there was some friction allegedly between him, the way it was reported, and the brother that they fired. And so they got him out of there. But he's going to be with the Warriors now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Exactly. So and just for our loyal listeners and viewers, and I'm going to apologize to Christy this week because we were only going to talk about Klay. So there is no word of the week and there is no song. And I'm sorry, Christy. I hope I'm not disappointing you.
Sorry, sir.
We'll be back with that on our next episode. But yeah, we just wanted to come on and talk about Klay. And so before we get up out of here, was there anything else I think there was a couple more things you wanted to go into, or anything else you wanted to?
We don't really have. We can just end it on Klay.
We'll just end it on Klay.
Just bring it down even more, bringing up Diaz, Ryan Diaz.
Yeah. So shout out to Klay Thompson. Very. I know he wrote a beautiful.
It was
going away. It was, and the love that people showed. So shout out to Klay for all the years of great basketball and being a basketball ambassador and loving the Bay. Yeah.
China Klay, they love him in China.
Yeah. Shout out to Anta.
Anta. Come on, Anta. So he hasn't had his press conference yet, has he?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I don't think so.
I guess they finalized that contract.
Yeah, actually,
it's gonna be so weird.
It is. But I forgot his Anta partner is Kyrie. So Anta now has 2 players on that team.
That's right.
So
the Moccasins.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he's had a press conference yet.
Nah, that would have been on Sports Center.
Let me see. I don't think so. No. So oh wait. I guess he did. Maybe he did. I'll have to look it up. Because I don't subscribe to the Dallas media, but we'll find out. Because looks like there's conflicting reports. Klay Thompson's first Dallas press conference went viral on social media. Maybe he did, but we'll get our crack research team on that, and we'll report back out on our next. We'll have some sound on our next show. But so yeah, we just wanted to come on and Bay Area fans, we feel you. We feel you.
It's a new day, y'all. Just gotta keep it moving.
New
It's like
day.
that ex-girlfriend or boyfriend. Gotta move on.
Gotta move on.
Gotta
And,
move on.
they better make the playoffs. Come on, Dubs.
We ain't got nothing but the Warriors. Well, the Niners, but
Yeah. But
and
you know,
Giants.
we always talk to football gods hate our head coach.
Ooh,
Football
yeah.
gods hate Mike Shanahan. They conspire to hurt him
He need to get
emotionally.
on his knees.
every year they gonna sock it to him in the gut. Anyway, that's pain. I don't want to
we
revisit
can go in on that too. And good for they worked out something with Ayuk, right?
Not yet.
Did you watch him on the pivot? I was glad that was some good advice that someone gave him about going to the media prior to, be quiet.
Yep. No. Let your agent do the talking, sit next to him, but or do it, a Lamar Jackson and have your family do it. But yeah, these young guys, there's such a thing as too much media, right? And too much media and social media, handle your business. So yeah, that's gonna bring me down too if they don't sign that brother. So I think it's time. We just get up out of here.
I'll get my hopes up with the Raiders. I'm just like, okay, we'll see. You see, I didn't say nothing. I was just like,
exactly. Although training camp is next week, I think, right? Next week or week after. Training camp's on its way, so we'll be back talking about the NFL in earnest very soon. So, so thank you, Felicia. Another great episode, and unfortunately, it was a downer, but please like and subscribe. You can find us on YouTube now, Instagram at Sports in the Bay on Facebook, everywhere Sports in the Bay. That's where we are. And tell your friends. We'll be back next week-ish, or maybe later this week-ish. Life be lifing. So
life be lifing. Yes.
We'll figure it out. And shout out to one more comment from Charlton. Hi guys, long time, can't stay long, got to go to work. Appreciate you, man. But of course, I'm hella sad about Klay leaving, and I think that's the most appropriate sentiment to leave on. So.
That's a Warrior fan from Oakland, living in Southern California. My childhood friend.
We feel you, man. We feel you. Shout out to Klay Thompson. All right, Felicia, let's get up out of here. Sports in the Bay. Catch you in the next episode. Thanks, everybody. Peace.